As always, guys, remember, this was done by a licensed professional. Hi, guys. So I asked on my Instagram if you guys wanted to see me taking my friend Kaylee from blue to blonde. So here we are. This is my girl. We are going to go through a science experiment today. Do we know what's going to happen exactly? A little bit, but you never know when you're removing these type of colors of what you're going to get out of the hair, because it totally depends on their hair. So we're gonna take you guys along for the journey. I'm also gonna be putting in extensions on her, and we're just gonna have a whole day of fun doing Kaylee's hair. All right, we're gonna go inside. So Kaylee has a mix of direct dyes, Pulp Riot, as well as Redken Shades, the blue, pastel blue on her hair. So let's go in and get this removed. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. You can hang out with me and see what I do every day. First, we're gonna start with Pulp Riot's Blank Canvas. This is a direct dye remover. So we are mixing it up per the directions using 6 volume and a little bit of Olaplex to make sure that we are being gentle on Kaylee's already fragile, already lightened hair. As you guys can see, I'm leaving out her regrowth area because I do not need to remove anything on that. And if you do get this on natural hair, it will lift it. This is basically like a little bit of an altered lightener. So I'm applying this from where her demarcation line is down through her ends, and we are going to just do very clean and even sections. Your sectioning needs to be to where you could basically read a text through it. So it needs to be very fine so that you are not missing any spots. Otherwise, when this is removing, you're gonna get like little polka dots of the color still left behind. So it's really important to take your time while you're doing this, work with a low developer, and just let it process. So I'm using smaller sections and working my way through, starting at the back of the head all the way towards the front. And I love using these types of things other than just regular bleach, because this lightener combo mix for direct dyes really helps to go in and remove this stuff without doing any like really extreme damage to the hair. Now, will this damage your hair? Yes, guys. You guys have to use very you have to be very smart when you work with this type of stuff and watch the hair, because if you are using a really high developer in this, you can definitely put the hair into a not so good zone. So make sure that you watch this and pay attention. So we almost have everything lifted off, and I wanted to show you, what color do you think this blue is lifting out to? This is why we say you never know what's going to happen, because that right there is pink. We have never put pink in Kaylee's hair, but we have had purple, we've had some smoky colors, and sometimes things lift out completely different than you think it's going to. So that's why these removers are like pretty much like a science experiment. It's pretty neat to see how chemistry works in the hair when you don't even expect it. So we just went back and applied a little bit of a higher developer and went over that midsection with the pink. So now we're gonna rinse out the back. This is about as much as we're gonna get lifted out of her hair. And then we can tackle this leftover pink when I do her root smudge. Okay, so now we are spot treating Kaylee's hair, and I did a little bit of mixture because whenever we're trying to remove pink, her pink had like kind of like a red and orange mixture of what it looked like. So we're using a B to cancel out the orange and a GN to cancel out the red. That makes pink. So now we're just kind of neutralizing that root area, and then we're gonna go back in and do her smudge root and do all of her rest of her color. But do you guys see how that's toning out all of that pink? Because it was pretty crazy. So now we're gonna go back in and do our actual foil conversion. So I'm using basically a level 6 for right at her root area, and then we're gonna melt that into about a 6, 7, and then into the toner on her end. So you guys can see, after kind of getting all that color removed and doing some spot treatments like pre-toning, now we're able to go back in and do our actual color. So since she's about a level 4 naturally, what I'm going in and doing is I'm using Shades EQ cream to kind of blend the lines right on her root area. Now I'm going to be taking this past her roots about an inch or so, and I'm going to create this as my first color that I'm laying down. I love Shades EQ Cream because it has a lot of staying power and it doesn't get as translucent as Shades EQ regular gloss. So what I'm doing is basically a reverse balayage, or you can call it a foil correction or a foil conversion. So I've put that base color on. Now I'm going into the level 7 and I'm starting to feather that down. If we think about wanting to have a little bit of a like smudge roux or a rooty melt, whatever you decide that you want to call it, you want to get an idea visually of how far you want that root to come down. So in Kaylee's instance, we're having it come down about 3 to 5 inches in certain places. So what I've done is I've applied her roots already. I've melted it into the level 7-ish. Now I've put a level 9 on her ends and I'm using the Olivia Garden brush to help to blend all of that through. I'm going to show you guys on another section what I mean. And I am taking zigzag sections. I am doing a horizontal diagonal on 2 sides, so basically creating a V, and then I'm doing a horizontal right across the top. So you guys see me working on a horizontal. I already have my zone 1 put on, so the straight level 6 of Shades Cream. Now I'm putting in sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied, the mixture of level 7 and 6 in that mid, and then I'm going into the 9. And I have a little bit of 9NW with a little bit of clear and some other formulas in here to really make sure that her color gets nice and pretty. All of that will be available in the description box below for you guys, so you can check out all of that final formulation down there if you guys want to know what I used. But you guys can see I use my paddleboard to really apply these colors so that I can make sure that everything gets really even saturation. So some and most of the sections that I'm doing are going to be these larger panel or plank sections, and you guys can see I'm doing those 2 opposite sides. These are the like the diagonal back sections that I'm doing. I'm placing this onto my board. I've already got my root smudge on there. Now I'm going into that level 7 and I'm giving it a little bit of an angle and kind of softening that line, and then grabbing my level 9, which is essentially my toner. So I'm doing a root smudge, I'm doing a foil conversion, and an end toner all at the same exact time. So what I like to do is get this all on the hair on the board, and then I'll turn the board sideways like so and be able to bring it all the way through the ends if someone's hair is a little bit longer than my actual board. And then using that brush, all I do is just pull that through, and this brush is designed to help you to do these types of colors, to do toners so that you can get it through the hair and really have a really nice blend. I love this because I don't have to wear gloves. My hands don't get dirty. I get to utilize the board and this brush. So now I'm gonna go and pull through some lowlights because this type of color looks really good with some lowlights in this. And if you guys can see, my lowlights are going to be pretty chunky. The reason being is because I want to have bigger pieces that actually have a tiny bit of visibility and not have it completely disappear into the hair. So I'm bringing these a lot lower. I'm leaving out a little bit of those ends and then blending it into that level 9. Now this is literally creating the most perfect melt in the world because these colors are going to blend together in that midsection and just create the most perfect color melt ever. So I'm going to be doing this all over the head, taking specific sectioning that I kind of go off my balayage design. I like to keep a lot of diagonals and create this type of color very visually. So I am doing this completely custom to Kaylee's hair, and I will follow this all the way through the front and allow it to process for 25 minutes. Then I'm going to rinse and apply Olaplex step 2 and allow this to sit for 10 minutes. You guys can see, look at this blend. Does this not make you just want to like go gaga? I mean, I'm absolutely in love. Now I'm going to go, while she is getting processing and blowing dry, I'm going to go grab my laced extensions because we are doing beaded row extensions in this girl's hair. I'm grabbing a level 5G and 3NW to give her extensions a little bit of root to match her hair. We have a really beautiful blended blonde, but we want to have a little bit of a root so it matches Kaylee's gorgeous hair at her level 4 root area. So I'm going to apply this all over to the roots and allow this to process for about 15 minutes. And you guys can see it is going to start to oxidize. It's going to be so gorgeous. And we're going to go finish up Kaylee's hair. Now guys, we blew her out. We did all of this stuff. I installed her extensions, and then she came in the next day because we were already in the salon for about 6.5 hours. So she came in the next morning for me to finish actually cutting and customizing her extensions into her hair. And then we curled it, gave it this beautiful texture to her hair with my amazing T3 curling iron. This is my favorite curling iron in the entire world, guys. It's ridiculously amazing. And then we brushed out all these curls for a gorgeous blend. Look at this girl's hair. I mean, I don't know if you're in love, but I'm in love. And I cannot believe we did this color, because when I saw that pink, it was starting to scare me. But you know what? You go back to color theory and you get really smart about color. And this is what I do when people sit in my chair. I pull out all the tricks, all the stops to make sure that my clients are leaving with the hair of their dreams. And I'm pretty sure Kaylee is going to be smiling for the rest of her life. Alright guys, so we just finished Kaylee's hair. We are so happy. Sometimes you have some bumps along the road, but if you know your color chemistry, you're able to really go in and banish any of those existing colors and blend these lines. So, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, go check out Kaylee's Instagram page because she is an incredible hairstylist as well. What is your Instagram?
It's Kaylee's Creations, K-A-I-L-E-E-S, and then Creations.
And then I'll put a little banner on here so you guys can go follow her as well. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!